Building a national treasure is something that's really important to Nationwide, something that's really important to the area and really important to Stacey's district. So bearing that in mind, we're going to start doing some stuff that helps one of our own, that helps somebody in our district raise some awareness. And I'm first up. My little boy Ellis is 8 and he was diagnosed on the 20th of August 2015 with a condition called FOP, fibrodysplasia ossifica progressiva. What it means is that over time his soft tissues, muscles and ligaments will turn to bone. It's called stone man syndrome, it's the name the press like to give it. We will have to make a choice in future whether Ellis will spend the rest of his life standing or the rest of his life seated. On the day Ellis was diagnosed, it was without a doubt the hardest day of my life. I remember leaving the hospital and not being able to look at him because I thought if I didn't look at him, it wasn't real. I rang 2 people that day. I rang my manager, I have no recollection of that conversation at all, and I rang my parents, and my dad answered and I was hysterically crying. And I did everything you do as a parent, which is, why me? I didn't deserve this, this isn't fair. And my dad stopped me and said, why not you? Tell me why you don't deserve this. Tell me why you're so special. Tell me why you think you're better than this, because you're not. I raised a girl that's strong, that's determined, that's focused, so you will get over this, Suzanne. What he gave me was a slap round the face, and at that point I needed it. And I remember looking at Ellis in the rearview mirror and thinking, he's the same little boy he was 10 minutes ago. I just need to get over it. I'd be lying if I said some days weren't really hard at the beginning, where I'd open my eyes and think, if I lay in bed, it might not be real. But I got over those quite quickly, I think, with the help of some really good friends. The condition is really rare. It affects 40 people in the UK and over 700 worldwide. It's aggravated by everything. So Ellis is a normal 8-year-old little boy, but the condition's progressive. So he can't do things little boys can do. He can't play football, he can't run around, he can't do anything where he could be injured. The condition is aggravated by life. So knocks, bumps, injections, strained muscles, anything really. Colds, viruses can all aggravate it. So I could put Ellis to bed one night, absolutely fine, moving, not a problem. And the next morning he could wake up and his knee could be locked and that knee would never be able to be used again. The body builds additional bone. So if it builds it, obviously, for example, here on my shoulder, up here, it doesn't matter, I just get an unsightly lump. If it builds it here in my shoulder, I lose ability to move my shoulder forever. There's no cure for this disorder, but nobody knows why it does it. But there are some amazing doctors looking for cures, and there are 2 drugs at the minute in clinical trial. What we know now is that if we can find a cure for these rare diseases, it opens the door for amazing cures for such little diseases. If we can work out why Ellis's body builds bone so quickly, just think about what it can do for other people. I describe as living with Ellis with FOP like someone giving you a grenade in the morning, taking the pin out of it and saying, hold on to it, and I'll give you the pin back at night. Because that's what life's like with Ellis. He could knock, fall, bump, anything, and we live with that daily. So I put Ellis to bed every night, hoping and praying that in the morning he can still move the joints, that he can still be the little boy that I know. Sorry, that's hard. When Ellis was diagnosed, they gave me a bit of paper, which I hope your managers will all have, which is a charity called FOP Friends, which is run by an amazing family called Helen and Chris Bedford-Gay. Their little boy Oliver has FOP. And when he was diagnosed, they vowed that they wouldn't have any family go through the dark times they did. Because if you Google FOP, it ain't good, let me tell you. Feel free, knock yourself out. And I rang her at 8 o'clock that night when Ellis was diagnosed, and she rang me back and said, I can't take this away from you. What I can do though is I can help you understand there's hope out there. Which is ironic because my daughter's called Hope, but never mind. So what I'm asking you to do in August is do something for FOP Friends. Give Ellis the future where he can do everything that every little boy can do. He can run, he can play with his friends, and if he bumps, I don't have to panic. I don't have to give him tons of drugs to try and stop that joint freezing. I don't have to tell him that he can't do things anymore. I'm running the Great North Run on the 10th of September, 13.1 miles of hell. Pretty sure I'll get through it though. Do something in your branch for it. Wear something funny on your feet, because the condition is, Ellis got a really unusual toe, which I will show you later on him. Do something funny, have a bake off, have some fun with it, but raise some money for this amazing cause and help me out. Thank you for listening. And I haven't put Ellis in this video at the minute because whilst he understands what the condition is he understands he's got special bones, he doesn't understand the implications of it and what it could mean longer term. And that's because I'm hoping it will never come to that. I'm hoping there'll be a cure and that I'll never have to answer his questions as to when his joints don't work anymore and what that means long term for him. I will, however, after you watch this, get him in for a minute and you can talk to him. Ellis has got a fusion in his neck vertebrae, so he can't move his head left or right, up or down, and he's got a fusion in his foot. So, but when you talk to him, he'll be absolutely normal. So thank you for listening.